It's Zai. I'm back. Streaming kind of back to back because my workload's pretty light and I can't really think of anything else to do. So yeah. More play stuff. If it sounds like I'm eating something, it's because I am. But it's like some snacks, so don't worry, I'm not eating like an entire lunch. Because why would I do that? It's better if I actually go eat my food. Excited. My computer's gonna rev up for this game. It very much scares me. Once again, not expecting anyone in particular to show up. This is looking good. I think I need to produce... I don't know, wood into... Yes, I think I remember what I was doing. So I need to go check what things I need to present fall with. I think I did this last time. Okay. It's been confirmed. I know I'm doing everything right. How about all of my, you know, obligations have been taken care of. They're going to work. I'm going to get an early dive in. I'm very excited. Yeah, that's happening. I'm going to click over here. I always forget this. Sorry, always forget that too. Resuming my game. I think for now, when I go to upgrade things, first and foremost, I'm going to need to upgrade the sickle, which, you know, it makes me happy that the sickle is actually doing something other than just, you know, the weeds. But, so the sickle first, and then my pickaxe, and then my hammer. This is so trash. This thing went crazy far to get here. Oh my god, it's a little hermit! It's a little hermit man! That's exciting. I think the little hermit man is something to be offered. That's exciting. Okay. We are just going to continue. I will say I very much enjoyed playing this yesterday too. It was very much. Luckily, this has very much become a game where I kind of lose track of time, and that's sometimes a bad thing. But in this case, as long as I'm, you know, well aware of how long I've played, and I'm not, you know, killing myself because I'm sitting down for too long, then I should be fine. Oh. My control is still a bit wacky, but it's still working. Hi, Silverune! How's it going? Hope your day has been going swell. Yeah. It never stops, does it? It's actually sunny over here right now. We've been getting like non-stop rain. Well, if for right now it's just me, you know. Just me and my beautiful self. Who knows, maybe Zack will pop in later. But the other boys are usually busy. So this is my time to relax. I kind of finished all my workload. It's been pretty light recently, but that usually means, like, you know, the upcoming week I'm gonna get destroyed. Sure. Honestly, like I say, you could use my stream as, like, you know, a placeholder. Just, you know, background music. Hopefully, I don't know if you've had time or if you've looked at the next fest, Silverune, but we talked about the demos yesterday. Zack was like, yeah, I'm almost done. I have 4 left. He messages me the night of, that same night, and he's like, yeah, I downloaded 12 more demos. And I'm just like, okay. Good luck, dude. I went through, like, the list of stuff. And this was definitely more of a Zack Next Fest, but, you know, even though I say that, you know, usually, even probably with me and my type of games, even if there's a lot of farming sims, honestly, I get a little bit fatigued playing them, and I'm even, like, more critical than normal of, like, okay, will I like this? There's a lot of, more, like, action deck building stuff. There was, like, only a couple that I, like, ended up playing. That was more kind of like my speed. And there were some that, like, could have been interesting. Oh, I'm going to die. I should just eat this. And those were pretty cute and nice, so that managed to, like, work out pretty okay. There was one thing I wish, like, I think I'm gonna 100% just get, and that was like a, I don't even know what those are. I don't know what these games, like, are called per se, but it's kind of like a management. No, I'm not using. It's like in real life managing game, like where it has like make your own task lists for the stuff you need to do, and like set a timer, and like you're given kind of like your own room to do stuff in. And normally I'm just like, this isn't worth anything to me, right? But because those are really indicative on art style. Like, if the art style isn't something the person likes, more or less, because that's like the majority of what you just look at. I haven't really found anything, because it wasn't even on my radar to begin with. It kind of seemed like a fun idea, but it's like I don't really need to, you know, make myself a list to play, or like to, you know, if I do, I just have like paper in real life that I just do that for. So it wasn't really on my radar, essentially. But I saw this game, and I was like, oh, the art style of this is really nice. And I went in, and it was just very, like, whimsical and magical, and they have, like, a lot of sounds you can turn on and off. So, like, just like a fireplace, and within the room, the fireplace could turn on. And you could even just put it where there's only sound and the fire doesn't turn on, or where there's no sound but you have the visual of the fire. So, like, that was neat. They had, like, their own playlists that you could do, but they even also had, like, web browser, and within the game, it opened up, like, a separate web browser onto YouTube where you could just play music. And I thought that was great, because you don't have to kind of, like, distract yourself from having to, like, open up another tab. And it ultimately, I was like, this is actually, it almost hits everything that I could ever have, like, wanted. And it's coming out in, like, 2 months, too. So I've actually been using it. It's demo. And just having it in, like, the background as I, like, work. Yeah, and for people who, like, that's totally, and like I said, it's about art style and everything, so it's kind of anime-y. But yeah. Let me see if I can... Let me know if you want to know the name, because you'll be able to find... It's within this Next Fest. But that's like the only thing that I've kind of been just like... Surprisingly, I think I would want to just like immediately get this. It's been really nice. Because you have like magical creatures too. Like you start off with like a cat that has like 3 eyes, but it's kind of like, you know, the eye and the forehead. And you can unlock other creatures depending on like specific conditions that you can set within the room. So like one of the examples is like an early bird, which is really, you can probably guess how you end up getting the early bird. But it's kind of like this really cute, kind of sun-shaped, like little yellow bird. And so there's apparently a lot more in the full version, and it's just like, yeah. Heck yeah, why not? Let's see, I think I should go donate these. Look at this man! He went from blue hair, now he's like in brown hair. This guy's a win in terms of fashion. Yeah, so if you're into that kind of stuff, Silverune, if you like those things as well. I don't know. I sometimes feel like I'm a little bit of a stickler when it comes to video games, that I'm a little too harsh. But it's like, it's a preference, right? In terms of what art styles people like or not. He commits to the outfit, yeah. And plus, some of his stuff is star-themed, and I'm not gonna lie, I love star-themed things. So, it's pretty great. I'm here to capture this butterfly. I have caught him. The only thing that's been a bit of a bummer is since we've been demoing, there hasn't been time to play Baldur's Gate. So I'm sad. I think my eyesight's just gone. I don't know. Usually there should be a way for me to get over here on the other side. But Zack's also been pretty busy this week, so I don't think it would have happened anyway. But I'm just like, oh, I want to go back. I did tell myself, because I've been so impatient, that since I'm planning on doing a solo run with mods, because I looked into the mods and I'm just like, okay, based off of how it's been playing this game, I don't think I'm going to get around to, you know, a 3rd playthrough. I think I'm just going to, you know, die after, like, you know, going through so much and, like, on a 1st and 2nd playthrough. So I just told myself, hey, I'm gonna do mods for my 2nd playthrough. And looking at some of, like, the mods, it's like, it's been pretty cool. And some of it's just aesthetic, right? It's like, you know, this is new outfits you can wear and blah, 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 blah. But I'm very much, like, if you can, like, if it's personalization, like, you could personalize things, I very much enjoy it. I'm catching myself saying like too many times now, and it's I'm annoyed with myself. It's just one of those Californian things. What is it? What are those called? I don't know if it's like in between words. Instead of I just say like. It's bad. I can't stop it. Anyway, so heavy workload week, I think, for him. But actually, for me, it's a very light workload because half of my company, which is on, like, it's a different country, they're all on break right now. Yes. Now, I don't mind if, what is it? Personalization. It's a little tough as well because I think I only really enjoy personalization when I actually feel like they do enough to make it feel like personalized. Yeah, I know. You can't stop the likes. Ah! I'm trying to be better because I'm trying to think a little more before I talk, but then I get excited and then I just start rambling. It's tough, man. But yeah, let me focus. So personalization. So for games like this, I think it's great. And when you can really personalize, like in, what is it? Baldur's Gate, I like that because it's very specific personalization. Then there's other ones that are kind of just vague, as if they're trying to, you know, say, hey, look, we do personalize. And it's just like, just no, just stop. Just why don't you just give me one really solid designed character rather than giving me options for a very kind of, I don't want to say cheap, but not really defined or specific personalization system. So I don't mind that. I don't mind if you give me a strong character design. I don't mind that. What's happening? Did we do enough? Are we leaving immediately? Oh, they booted me out! I think it's 11. I can't believe it. In other places in the world, 11 is the time they head out to go party. Which, I don't know how they do that. Those guys are crazy. I'm on board for taking naps at 12. I think that's great. You know, a midday, you know, snooze. But then they leave for at 11 to go party. That's insane. It's an issue of commitment. For example, some of the Pokemon games fail to really give you meaningful choices for personalization. I really liked, I don't know if you agree, X and Y. X and Y did a really, I think, cute job of it. And sometimes I understand also within the limitations of the game. Jepun? So I enjoyed the amount of stuff in X and X and Y also had an entire fashion kind of thing going for it too, so I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm trying to think of bad examples. It's actually hard to come up with it. Maybe because they were bad enough examples that my mind doesn't remember them. There is also a notion of going too far, right? Because there are some people that if you were to give them Baldur's Gate or even something like The Sims, well, now The Sims, it's like it's part of the game, but something similar to Baldur's Gate, if you give people too many options, right? It's like option overload, and it becomes hard to actually decide. I think they get a little too much flack, but some games like or Sun and Moon were much more limited. Yeah, I did not play Sun and Moon. Yeah, especially when it's not a core mechanic, exactly. Barely got any money that day. I think for games like The Sims, I think it's so okay, right? Because that's the fun of it, right? Because you're making a character that's supposed to, you know, be like you, or this is supposed to like be a separate life, so you set up the person's life, and that makes sense. And then guess what? For things like Baldur's Gate, if people want to, they can just mod it. And I think that's fantastic. So it's like if the options are not... My banana tree's dead! I didn't realize trees can die! Oh my gosh, let me go check that. Trees can die in this game? Fruit. Mm-mm. Okay, I'm a little confused whether or not the banana tree is actually dead or not. Okay, so they do die. It is just dead. I guess I have to wait for. Apparently, some are actually just trees, while this classifies as a fruit plant. We'll just blame Zack for the dead tree. Zack is a killer of banana trees. Yes, it is entirely his fault. And we will hold it against him. I guess I'm gonna go get a new tree. I don't have enough money, actually, for that. Okay, what exactly can I do to get some money? That's a good question to ask. I mean, it would be plants, but I don't have a lot of plants right now that are harvestable. I think we said we're gonna be starting to play Amori on Sunday. Have you played Amori, Silverune? What's happening? Yoga class? Grace over disgrace. Okay, Leah. Oh no, the kids have shown up. Yoga. I don't know what I've heard about Amori, but I'm a little scared. I've heard it's depressing. I don't know why we're so I don't mind scary stuff, but I heard it's supposed to be emotionally depressing. Let's do some yoga. Apparently yoga is way more difficult than people think. Like, oh, it's just a girl going to like yoga class. It's like that girl can like arch her back in ways that you've never even dreamed you could. Good job, kids. You'll get there. At least Leah's nice to children. Adults, maybe not as much. Well, that was nice. That had nothing to do with me, but that was nice. I guess I could just go back underwater. There really isn't much to do. Let's go down under. Under the sea. We're making Australian puns here and aerial puns. Another cutscene that maybe doesn't have anything to do with me. Yeah, you go into a field and you're like, I'm gonna be able to go, like an archaeologist, I'm gonna be able to go wherever and just, you know, get on site immediately. It's like, nope, you have to fill out 5 million papers in order to get permission to even step foot out of the office. Well, that's nice. Had nothing to do with me, but that's nice. Well. Oh. Eva. Oh, hey, look at that, a lotus. Shouldn't those be in water? I don't even... Was that a bug? It disappeared right before my very eyes. Hello. No, Theo! No, fall is one of the best seasons ever. I don't know, maybe not in a tropical setting, but oh man, I love fall. Fall is great. Julio. We're almost there. I don't know why my head's just filled with, like, quotes from Disney films. Man, I've been hearing so many shenanigans that Disney's trying to, like, do with their movies, and it's just so annoying. I just want, you know, Disney to focus on, like, making Disney films again. It's almost weird to say, like, the new Disney doesn't feel like old Disney. I want old Disney films. But that's kind of like the whole market, isn't it? You know? Like, everyone in Hollywood is just trying to remake something or make a sequel, or... I guess in Disney's case, Disney would be live-actioning everything. Such a shame. They did it correct the first time, and then they just went downhill after that first time. Okay. Oh, this guy just did a loop-de-loop? That is a shrimp. You get over here, my small fellow. Skunk cleaner shrimp? The janitor of the sea. Keeps fish clean of parasites. You're a cool dude. Oh, so this cuts through here. Yeah, it definitely does feel like just a cash grab. I can agree with that. And what frustrates me is that it's like underneath it all, you can see people trying, right? They're trying to want to make a good story. I don't know who it is, you know, that keeps on showing up and saying, hey, no, that's not good enough. And I don't know, because it could entirely, and I think it is, right, a reflection of our, like, society and our culture at the moment. But it's so hard to make stuff right now. Alrighty, I'm doing good work here. And I mean, it's just, even hearing about kind of what's happening in the game sphere with all of the layoffs and everything, it's just so sad to see. And I kind of have seen, or have this understanding that I can kind of tell how they sometimes get into this position. I don't want to say, what is it? Where it's, you take on so many people, but instead of managing properly, so where, like, you fill the jobs properly and everyone's doing correct work, you just end up getting more people than you need. And then that just ends up where it's, you have to then suddenly lay off so many people. And I don't think it's the same thing as what these other companies are doing, though. I will have to, I'm not as knowledgeable as I would like to be. Because these companies are already huge. And I think that's one of the main differences, is they already make a tremendous amount of money. Apparently, though, they're incapable of properly managing, though. Get out of here, you guys. Okay, so that'll connect back up to there. Oh, this place is big! This place is huge! I am going to summon this here. Yep. That's one of the really crazy things is how much, and this is what really bothers me, is that a lot of, like, you know, systems can work within, you know, business and how business is done, and you can actually create a really stable business without cheating people of money, and you can still grow a business without cheating people of their money. And some would say it's not cheating, it's just, you know, using the system to get, you know, the most out of it. And it's just like, what do you, and I've talked to, you know, my friends and, like, other people around me about, you don't, and I think a lot of them also agree with me, you don't need to keep on exponentially growing. You can make a business that's sustainable, and if you want, maybe has a really slow growth over time, but that's still successful. As long as your product or whatever it is exists and people are using it to the point where you're stable in business, I would say that's a success. I don't know why other, like, companies don't treat that as a success. It's always about, oh, increase. And that's the thing. It's, once again, you're kind of rounding it back out to, this is where greed comes in. Greedy people. That's where also the impatience comes from. Because if you're smart, right, and if you want to be like, I want to amass, you know, wealth, right, there are ways of slowly getting to there. And we're talking about wealth that's, like, way more than what you would need to, you know, sustainably live a happy-ish life. Happy-ish, but, you know, not one of excess, essentially. Let's see if I can find any. And I feel kind of the same way about, you know, even video games, right? I think to myself, when someone announces something, you should only announce something if you're completely almost ready to show. Why would you announce something that's, like, 4 years away, you know? It's like, don't waste people's time getting them excited about something just to keep on delaying and delaying and delaying. I'd rather be excited about something that, you know, pops up a month or two later. I should probably... Did I pick up anything? Okay. Donations. Only like one donation. Yeah, it's happening more and more, not to mention seeing more and more games from established studios coming out unfinished. It's just crazy. It's funny because it's... You'd like to think that standards, our level of standards would increase. But it's kind of not what it is. It's just... And I think, once again, we're coming back to kind of like the movies and stuff too. It's about dumping out as much as you possibly can rather than making something that's really good quality. And that's where it appears that games are going to. And I don't know, maybe it's like an economy thing where it's just all unsustainable, but see, and this is where I'm like, I'm not into economy. I'm not an, what is it? What are they called? Economist? I'm not an economist, okay? I don't know any of this stuff, but as someone who kind of just, not to say other people don't use their brain, but I'm hoping my brain is working correctly in kind of trying to find the roots of where these are coming from. It seems crazy. Goose neck barnacle. Let's grab the goose by the neck. Let's just dump this all into the compost. And it's kind of scary because it doesn't... I keep on seeing kind of how at least schools in America have been teaching, and it's like even the schools and like the students coming out of the schools, it seems like the quality of education has gone down in those cases, and it's on everyone. It's everyone's fault. It's not just the curriculum. It's not just kind of like, because I feel like right now the teachers are least at fault because not only the curriculum is bad, but the students are really bad. Oh man, it's just, I'm reminded of seeing so many kind of like clips of just crazy violent student behavior, and it's just insane to me. It is. It's very much away from common sense, I think. And I think that's kind of the most crazy part to me. But, you know, I'm just a particularly tiny fish in this, you know, ocean. And I think that's what's kind of unfortunate, is feeling so powerless. Where all I can do is kind of just chat about it. What? Another coffer? Okay, man, there's so many coffers in this game. Kind of crazy. This music is very fitting for kind of the mood of the topic. This is really funny. Let me check to see if I think I've donated both these guys. Oh man, I was thinking about it too, Silverune. That upon starting this game, both you and I lived in a time where this wasn't possible. Games just started being made. Apparently, I'm older than Google. It's kind of crazy to think about. Because I think stuff like this is extraordinary, and I really, really enjoy it. And I'm glad this exists. Let's dump some flowers in here. I got some stuff I could sell. Scrap chest and scrap arch. The scrap stuff looks actually pretty cool. Isn't that crazy? Like, in our lifetime, we went from cassette tapes to streaming. We saw cell phones evolve, and in a matter of years, watching games go from 2D to 3D to VR. It is so insane. It's been kind of like it's crazy mixture of, you know how they're like, they say, you know, first time in history events, or, you know, historical events, like we're going through historic times. Mostly that's usually in relation to disasters. But seriously, like the invention of tech, we basically have AI now, you know? We basically, imagine that. We made movies about AI. My god, I literally just sold a basic sunflower. Okay, I've got 3. Okay, I got it. Oh, and actually, if I pick up flowers, I can bring 2 flowers to the tavern. Oh! Let's just put this dehydrator here. Okay, this is annoying me. Hold on. Come here. You know what? For my sanity, I'm gonna put that here. I'm still trying to get over how tech in Star Wars and Star Trek is slowly coming true. I mean, tablet computers and smartwatches alone. Yeah, and now it's the, what is it? The AR, right? AR stuff? You're now starting to see AR stuff happening. And that's also in all of these, like, sci-fi films. Double crop. Heck yeah. Take that and that. Okay, let's go to... I'm gonna track that. And then I'm going to track that, because I'm gonna go try to find... I did catch one of these, I think. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry, Eric, I do not have your egg. Who's Valentina? Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know your names. Oh, it's little girl! I remember saying I liked your name, too. Oh, speaking of flowers. Do not consume the sunflower, no! Bad Dawn, bad Dawn. Hey Alice, how's it going? Ben did say he was leaving, that is true. Valentina! Give quest item. That's very sweet of you to, you know, flower present. I've got 2 flowers! Already, fantastic. Oh man. Going back to what we're talking about, Silverune, isn't it also even more insane now that future tech is trying to look like older? Not look like, but there are some people out there who try to make games now that look like old games. I think that's amazing. I'm glad to know that it's still, you know, appreciated. I think everything has good qualities. It's you know, its qualities about it. And I like that some people we're now appreciating that. It's kind of like 2D versus 3D. And it kind of makes me sad because I'm happy that 3D is something we can do and it's attainable. But I don't like how some people had thrown 2D to the wayside. I think I even saw... Oh, okay, we can talk about this. Hold on, let me read your comment real fast. Yeah, and then they pull stuff like we never have imagined back in the day. Like, sure, games like Shovel Knight or Undertale, but also games like Octopath that are insanely detailed. Yeah, it's like refining what the old stuff had and just making the old stuff better rather than just trying to make something new. And I'll hopefully I'll get your opinions on this. It seems like, and I haven't watched it, so that's why I'm saying it seems as though I've been hearing that, hold on. Yes, aesthetic creative is always welcome, and it's fun to see what 2D can do instead of going super realistic. Yeah, we had a phase where everything just needed to be super realism, and we're kind of still in that phase. But, I was hearing about, you know, Avatar, The Last Airbender, the live action, and how there's some kind of red flags being thrown up about it. And one thing that I had seen apparently in an article that was directly quoting, I think, one of the directors or something, they were talking about Zuko and about adjusting Zuko's character, or as they say, I'm gonna air quotes. I don't remember this exactly, but if the topic at hand, hopefully you understand why I'm bringing this up. Essentially, he was like, we're like making his character more developed because, you know, when you move from 2D into like live action, there's going to be development there because 2D, it's almost like they're like 2D one does so much, or 2D in some way isn't capable of making complex characters. That's how it came off to me. And after reading that line, I'm just like, what you're telling me is you don't think that the 2D animation, not even 2D, like they were describing it as almost if like synonymous with like, one, either the story was shallow in some way in regards to Zuko's character arc, and it was just like, oh, 2D is somehow in some way lacking, and it's like those two things were synonymous with each other, and I was so bewildered to hear that from like like someone quoting someone I think who was directing and in the production of the series, that it just blew my mind. It's like, what do you mean that, you know, 2D isn't capable? Just because something's in 2D, it's not capable of being a good, well-developed story? Oh, it got me so mad. But yeah, I saw something on Tumblr about that, but I was hoping it was just a joke. Like, Zuko is the gold standard of redemption arc, so I'm a bit worried that they're messing with that. And even worse, treating animation being less than the show. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was just crazy hearing that. And I was even hearing stuff like, they even changed, oh my god. Oh my god, no! Hold on. I'm putting myself to shame here. Hold on, give me 5 seconds. Oh. Sokka. Okay, god. I wanted to kill myself anyway. So for like Sokka, they removed some elements from Sokka in the beginning because I think people had deemed it inappropriate, and he was being kind of like, I don't remember what the exact term was, but he either was like sexist or like misogynist. I don't know. They were like, yeah, we removed that because we didn't think it was appropriate. And I kind of turned around and I was looking at what people were saying too, and they were like, you do realize the show makes fun of him for it, right? Like, the show deems what he's doing as a bad thing, and not only a bad thing, he gets told off enough that he actually changes his behavior and realizes what he's saying is wrong because he grew up like that, right? And that's why he acted that way. But then after, you know, people yelling at him and, like, you know, kicking him in the butt, he realized what he was doing was wrong. That's called, one, character growth, and two, you're actually telling people that this is bad. So stuff like that as a writer, right? I look at that and see them doing... This is supposed to be professionals, right? And for some reason, their skills are worse than... And once again, I have major imposter syndrome, but I'm still relatively new to, you know, the professional world. But even I'm just like, I think I can write better than you. Like, I obviously, you know, writing an entire show, I don't think I'm capable of that. But understanding why these things are important, I can't fathom why they don't realize these things. I genuinely don't understand. So that's such a bummer, man. Because they were... It's like, it's up for appearances, because a lot of people like having, and I think for a good reason, right? If you make a live action of something, try to make it as close to how it actually looks as real life, because that's crazy cool. Taking something from fantasy and turning it real is crazy cool in of itself. So if they're able to do that, like, more power to them. But man, to not understand why it was good to begin with, or to try to mess around because you think it's better. And I understand wanting to change things a little, because in reality, I don't know if there is enough appeal for people to watch something just because it's live action versus not live action. I would say there's enough in my mind, but I don't know how it actually plays out statistically. But yeah, it's like, you don't need to... You can try to make something new, but for something that's that long and is so well crafted, it's just like, why do you need to do that? I have to I think I had another point, but I think I forgot it. It was about, I think, something a little tangential. Between 10 a.m. Oh, I need to pick that up. We're gonna go back up. Erica's. Oh, he wanted this in the morning. Oopsies. Whoopsies. Bad for me. Oh, wait. It's kind of coming back to me. Oh, yes. Okay. I actually remember what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to bring up. So there is an emphasis on casting people that, you know, look like, at least for Airbender's case, right, like the cartoon. But then there's other things that are based off of, like, books, and they've been kind of given the same treatment that people, like, when you've been making remakes of something, they're like, we want the characters to look exactly like the book. But for some reason, that only was attributed to the main character of the book and not to any of the other characters. Or to, I guess, the characters that were deemed important enough. And that part I found weird. I was like, excuse me? Why do you care enough about making this character look exactly the same, and you're actually mad if they're not exactly the same? But for some reason, it's okay to change this other character. Honestly, I don't like people adjusting characters from their original design. Unless, like, the original design was just garbage, right? That's a different story. But if you're just changing a character's, like, design because you feel like it, well, then change everyone else's design, okay? Because by that point, you're making something unique. It's kind of like a retelling of that story. And so you're taking it out, you're kind of moving it around. I hate the whole thing of, like, well, we'll change one person, but then everyone else is the same. I find that to be a little annoying. It's a double standard for sure. It also kind of follows how studios like to only do diversity of retention rather than for actual desire of inclusivity. Yes. And a lot of it seems to be, like, taking it out on it's very hypocritical. And funny enough, I find the comment that like a lot of it's actually they're removing redheads from shows and swapping them out for other people. And with like kind of the knowledge that I have about, if we want to talk about people who have been like, you know, who have been really hurt in the past, right? If people don't understand that like Irish people have really had a bad time in history, then I don't really know what to say, because the like having redhead in like being a redhead, not me, but like, you know, like being a redhead throughout history actually was really like it was not seen as like the normal common thing, like the normal slash good thing, because I don't want to really attribute normal as being specifically good or bad, but it wasn't really seen as like a good thing. So erasing and like removing those guys in particular, it just feels kind of crazy to me, because I'm just like, isn't this what you like? You wanted to stand up for the underdogs, right? Why are you removing the underdogs? Yeah. So knowing about Irish history in like, you know, a little bit, it's crazy to see like people just disregarding red, and obviously people are gonna say like, hey, you know, redheads don't only exist in Ireland. It's like, sure, yeah, that's not the point. Like, clearly those people are like, you're being actually obtuse to the point I'm actually trying to make, in that people back in the day associated redheads with Irish people, and in the case for the reason that they didn't like them, and that's how they portrayed them. Let's just get rid of this. So it's kind of mind-blowing to me that people find it okay to just like, they're like, oh, you as a character, as a redheaded character, clearly don't matter enough. And it's just kind of crazy. I don't even know. It's so much like, you know, it's safe to say that it's basically just like political stuff by this point. And it's just kind of crazy to me how it's kind of become like that. Man, I don't necessarily want to like get into it per se, but it's like I could even talk to you, Silverune, not like really talk, but I could like talk. I could tell you, Silverune, that like even like as like a Persian person, right? They've already done, and like we don't usually get included anywhere. Okay, I'm not really like out of like, you know, we want to talk about out of all of like the minorities within like America and stuff like that, because there's a lot of us, right? There's so many of every type. It's like we don't get much, but the stuff that we get has already been, I would say, messed with in a way that I just it's just horrible. It's just so frustrating to see, because it's become a thing now where it's like people like the tiny, I don't want to say the tiny, the very non-vocal people, if they actually have a problem with something now and are of that group, are kind of being told off like you're not right. And it's kind of crazy. There's so much. I'm like brewing a little bit. I gotta kind of calm down. I don't want to necessarily make the stream kind of like crazy in terms of like, because once again, people, this is all like political to some people, and I don't want to bring in that energy per se, or along with like the people, you know, behind that. But safe to say, like I've talked with kind of Zack about this, and even just on like a one-on-one like conversation, like me bringing up like my feelings towards like, oh, like a recent game, and how like I don't like what something's happened to it. It's like the conversation is so difficult. He even acknowledges being like, it's actually hard to talk about this, even with me, like me being the person who this is like directly related to, it was still like uncomfortable for him. It's almost like, why do we have to be on edge? Like I even with on like a one-on-one conversation, it's like people always have to be on edge. At least for some things, and it's like I don't necessarily want to. Oh God, hold on, it's coming up. Vegetable, fruits, flowers, coop product. Oh God, I can only do the first 3, maybe. Here. But it's like, as someone who's not really ever been in the like the limelight, who, if you ever get into like the limelight, but it's done incorrectly, it's like I don't go on really social media because I don't want to really deal with it. But at the same time, not doing so also has like, you know, left me kind of trapped within myself. So the only people I can talk to is my friends. Or occasionally with as much as I'm willing to do so on stream. And it's, hopefully, I think you can kind of tell by the way I'm speaking and like with the, hopefully, air energy I'm speaking with, you can kind of tell like it's like a swirling vortex of emotion inside of me in relation to these topics. But there's really kind of not much I can do. Because it's like, as soon as you say anything on the internet in a way that the internet doesn't like, you've gone mad. Like, they're gonna go mad. It's like, deep breaths. Deep breaths! Calming down, hopefully. Well, I appreciate you, like, sympathizing with me, for sure. And, you know, it's like, on one hand, it's like, I don't want to really demand, you know, that the world have to include me. It's nice when the world does. But when, like, people become hypocritical, that's what really gets me going, right? And safe to say I've seen kind of, like, a ton of that. And I'm not talking about, like, namby-pamby, like, hypocritical. Like, when someone's like, well, don't eat that banana because, well, or don't eat chocolate because it's not good for you and they eat chocolate. It's kind of just like, they have that weakness that they can't go without, like, X or whatever. As long as it's not, like, really hardcore bad stuff. But they're trying to help someone else choose a better path. I'm not talking about that hypocrisy. I'm talking about, like, the really kind of, like, you're showing... Like, you're telling people off for having, like, bad behavior, or, like, what you think is bad behavior, but you turn around and do that same bad behavior. Man, everything is... There's too much to, like, nuance to talk about. Oh my god, it's so exhausting. I'm just waiting until 9 rolls around so that I can go get these coffers opened. Look at these kids. They are now open. Sir, I would like for you to break open my coffers. I have... There's too many. I'm gonna have to take a trip to the museum and then come right back. Museum. I don't know, any fun stuff come... any, like, you know, try to get a positive. Any, like, fun stuff come out recently? I don't know, have we seen any, like, good movies that haven't been just, like, remakes? Stingray jewel plate. Why do they keep on making all of these interesting things, but then don't allow me to put them in my house? What a bummer. I think I recently saw... I'm gonna see if I can... I wanted to confirm the name. Yeah. Not to say that it was, you know, it's not like, what is it? The most profound movie ever. I'm still trying to work through my backlog. I feel that. But one thing that I watched, it's not like the most shining, you know, jewel out there, but Murder Mystery. I don't know if you've heard of said movie. But Murder Mystery, like, essentially was it's like a combination of like a comedy with murder mystery. And it was like refreshingly funny. It was really good. Like I for some reason I was like, wow, I don't think I've had this feeling of this type of movie in like a while. I need to get rid of all of these things if I'm going to. I'm gonna keep this out here for now. We're going to go to the tavern to bring the flowers. Yeah, I would totally recommend watching that. It left me with like a pretty decently good time. Like some of the jokes were kind of cheesy and, you know, of a certain like era kind of, but I was just like, I don't care, you know? I was like, it's pretty funny. I felt like, because sometimes some comedy can like dunk on certain like people a little too hard, and I take note of that. I thought this was reasonably okay. It was a little where sometimes the guy gets a little dunked on too much, and I feel kind of bad. And I'm like, okay, let's be a little fair, okay? But he was still actually pretty fun, both of them together. I like equal dunking, okay? We have to equally dunk here. Making sure Zack doesn't suddenly pop in to be like, no, we just hate women, okay? I don't see him. We're fine. Did they assume that I was gonna... Well, I'm glad he, I guess, just took the flowers. What's happening? From off screen? Oh, he's running. I gave you bronze quality flowers, okay? Just so you're aware. There is better, but there's also worse. Please don't start fighting in front of me. Oh, thank you. Thank God. Frank's, like, reasonable. I think it's supposed to be brother of mine. Yeah, just doing, you know, my job. Also, it would be kind of borked if someone just sent you a letter being like, hey, I expect you to do this for me. Thanks, bye. Bro, cleaning leaves? That does suck. Oh my God. Look at this hot cocoa. Look at that hot cocoa. I'm gonna buy one. I can't not buy one. I'm sorry. Oh, and they actually made it a 3D object. Ah! I'm crying. It's so cute. Oh, yes. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. I need to go get these coffers open. I've got literally 12 of them. What time is it? Okay. We're still, like, below 1 hour 30. I think I'm gonna tell Zack that, we may need to limit Sundays to, like, 3 hours. Just because I am literally unable to go after like as soon as you after 3 hours, maybe 3 hours and 30 minutes, the higher up you go, the more my mental like capacity disintegrates. At 5 hours, I'm just dead. Like I'm actually feeling sick. Wait, what did that say? Avoid this guy at all costs? Avoids predators by smelling bad. Oh. Hey, if it works for them, you know what I'm saying? It can work for it can work for us. It does work for us, truth be told. But at the same time, it's more like maybe try to avoid those people for other reasons, because I don't think they're doing it strictly out of survival. Honestly, I don't mind certain random people in chat. I mean, especially when there's like one or two and they actually converse. I like that, because then you're kind of like just chat, even if it's like chatting with some. It's like Omegle, right? Or rip Omegle, it's gone. Not that I really, you know, engaged with it to begin with, but it's like having a really kind of momentary connection with people. And it's interesting to see, you know, what they care about or and stuff. But it's just the sitting down, to be honest. Sitting down for 4 hours. Ooh, I should not sell that. Come back here. Is not really that healthy. Like I could feel my body, I can feel my body going like you need to like move. Which is crazy because I hear about like people who game, right? And they're just like on their 6 hours plus or something. And I'm just like, are you mad? Like, does your body just not function? Or do we not? This thing is so cute. I want to like, I wish I could use it as decor. But yeah, I think I've discovered that like 3 hours is like 2 to 3 hours is my sweet spot. It's a reasonable, air quotes, reasonable amount of time to sit and like play games before needing to like move. A midstream yoga break. I don't think I'm qualified to yoga. Yogaing is difficult. Oh, put this there. Oh. And I would say, depending on how long you've streamed, too, like, you know, getting up for a couple of seconds is totally okay. Like, it resolves the lack of, you know, movement. But if you've gone on, the longer you go on, I think the longer you actually need to be reversed and instead need to be moving. Like, if I've been sitting for 5 hours, it feels like I need to stand on my feet for, like, hour plus. I still haven't caught that. Oh, I do... Give me 1 second. We need to go to town. I need to go check. I need to go check the seeds. I also think, funny enough, it's actually probably easier to do what you're saying if you have a face cam. Because people can see you actively moving and being like, you know, I need to relieve this tension that from sitting down for so long. As a VTuber, if I move in a direction more than what is like normal, my model will just go like crazy. And no one wants to see that. No one wants to see me like bending back in like this really weird angle. Hello, sir. I would like to shop. I need un papaya. You plant in summer or fall. I will just need a papaya because, you know. I've been sending this man so many, like, fruits and stuff, yet his section for local is empty. I am enraged, sir. You are incorrect. I have been giving you so many foods. Unless they literally fly off the shelf, in which case, yes, give me the... Pay me properly. I will be compensated. He's just eating them all! How dare he, okay? I could have kept all those starred fruits and vegetables that I've been giving him and cooked them. If I were to see him eat it, I would just smack him. And be like, okay, 250? 350 for that one pepper you ate? You promised me, sir, that you would make a profit off of my goods, not eat the goods yourself? Man, I'm so excited. We've seen mermaids, like, once. I'm just waiting until I can see mermaids again. Like, clearly all, like, look, this is supposed to be their gardens or something. Sorry, farm? When I say garden, I'm kind of reminded of, like, those big fancy gardens, not actual food gardens. Look at that derpy pufferfish. I don't even know if he's real or if he's, like, a fake dude. Probably should get... Oh, I will say, I just realized there is a caveat. I don't know whether or not my seat, my chair, is impacting whether or not how long I can sit. Because who knows, maybe I can sit for 8 hours straight if the chair is comfy enough, but I'm just currently unable to. But I should not do that regardless. I still think any reasonable person would agree that 2 or 3 hours is a decent amount of time to be dedicating to these games. I don't actually know. I'm not as informed about like how ergonomically good my seat is. It can lock between like lounging and like sitting upright. So currently like it's locked and upright. But I've definitely seen other chairs that I think have like this doesn't have an individual headrest. So it's like better than a bad chair, but it's not as sophisticated as, you know, a very crazy chair. I don't think I would ever end up getting and I'm going to specify a gaming chair, and I think you'll understand what I mean versus like an office chair. Because gaming chairs, for the most part, are kind of a type of leather. And hooey, I sweat too much to be sitting on leather, something akin to leather. And office chairs are usually like a mesh kind of material, right? So, and I think that's a lot more breathable. So that's what I'd probably be having to go for. Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes we look down on, like, office chairs, because some are really just, like, not great. But if the higher up you go, right? The more money you pay, the more dollars. Some of them are really nice. Nice, we've managed to loop around. Okay, if I've already been there before, I don't think I need to come back again. I'm sorry, what was that? Did you just see that? What was that? What was just moving? Well, I think I will get him next time. Like, I have a leather-ish sofa. And that thing is, like, the most comfortable sofa ever. But you can also lie down on it, you know? You're not bound to just sitting in one position. When you are bound, I think, yeah, leather, non-leather stuff would probably be better. A very nice type of mesh. Oh, it's just a little ledge here. And it's kind of hard because it's like you don't really know what's good, and almost everything recommended to you. So if I see anything on Instagram, oh, you know those cost like 100 plus, but like bad 100 plus. Like they're like in 500, 600 territory, and it's kind of just like, can I trust this? Like it's hard to know whether or not you could trust any of it, to be honest. Because it's not like what you're seeing is a review. They've probably been requested to make this ad, you know? I'm so excited. I've been doing a lot, but I feel like we got through a bunch of segments. You know, I'm about to die from energy anyway, okay? I get it. We're gonna be leaving soon. Oh, got it. Okay, we're gonna go from here. That is most certainly going to get stuck on something. So, I will just leave that as is. It is a bit late. I don't think... Yeah, even though that's open, I don't know if that's worth going to. Say hello again. I will say, fall is really pretty, but like in a tropical place, fall doesn't really appear, does it? I don't, maybe I'm just not, you know, maybe I don't know how tropical places work, I guess, if that's not the case. Because normally really kind of northern places like Canada, right? Or like Alaska, or, you know, just northern places, those are really pretty in fall. Just double checking whether or not any of this is worth anything to me. No, then I could sell it. Oh, I should plant this papaya. Monsieur Papaya. I may only have this for one season, but it'll have to do. Yeah. That's the thing. I really think this setting is unique, and they're really trying to like put it together, but that's the thing. When you bring in like sometimes cultural stuff, if and that's like indicative to real life, right? It doesn't make as much sense if you're going to tell me suddenly, hey, there is like pine forests here. And it looks like, and I'm like, it's like, no, you've already kind of established this is kind of, you know, Polynesian-esque, you know, island, okay? This doesn't make sense. And Animal Crossing is stylized and has so many random different references that, yeah, Animal Crossing is understandable. And I think, oh, gets away with it much easier. I've now been left with 2 coffers. I have not managed to escape them yet. I haven't played New Horizons. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of sad. I do really want the game. It's been out for so long. I'm still holding out hope, and I think the hope is not unfounded that there is going to be a Switch 2. Even Stardew makes sense? Yeah, for the most part, because the island isn't really, like, tropical. It's more like tide pools and, like, more stuff that makes sense for that area. No, I did know. And I think people have, it's like, it's actually, I think, concrete now. I think there is kind of something back, you know. Okay, they want a pumpkin. Ashley is pregnant. Who's Ashley? Ashley is pregnant. Wow. Though the thing is, right, because I've been waiting for so long, Silverune, that I'm like, I will keep waiting, but I'm kind of dying internally that I haven't been able to play these games, even though they've been out for so long. Oh, you never know. That's actually really funny, that the one letter like changed the entirety of that. I will be selling the... That is like... Look at that. That's crazy. I'm gonna hold on to that. Yeah, it feels like it's gonna be so long that it's just gonna end before I do anything. Before I get around to it. Oh yes, now that I have this amenity. Oh, any fish and wasabi. I'm gonna try to amass my... Oh, do you think these were here before? I don't know. I'll have to keep my eye out on it. So like it's kind of blank for now. Let's see, there's so many Switch games. And the thing is, they'll probably all relatively cost the same because Nintendo, I don't think, gives up their stuff at all. Like, I really would like Animal Crossing, right? I think I would want to play both of the Legend of Zeldas, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom myself. There's a couple of other games that I currently don't actively remember. Some of the Mario ones. Maybe Pokemon? I think we all understand why I'm hesitant when I say Pokemon. But like that's already 4 or 5 games. It's closed on Saturdays? Why are you doing this to me? There's rumor going on that there will be an Animal Crossing news this year, but they've been saying that for years. Yeah, the thing is, like, New Horizons was so big. I don't know, maybe I've been kind of hearing that they may want to remake an older Animal Crossing. Which I don't really have an opinion about. I think the ones they were referencing that they might remake are some of like the really old ones, and I don't think I played those. I got onto the Animal Crossing train at City Folk. No, I do not want. What do I still... Okay, I need to get my axe. I just need 5 bronze and 20. Man, just thinking about how like all the games that I would want for Switch are still like $60 sucks. I think I finally heard that they're going to be shutting down one of the recent streams from them. They're going to be shutting down the 3DS, like, online stuff. I find that such a shame that it's like, why not just hold on to it? If it's active and able to, you know, work, why not just use it? Okay, shall we go back underwater? How much time? Wow, it feels like I've been talking a lot, and it feels like it's only been 20 minutes? Really? No! It should stay. Not that I really play anything online, but it... Oh, God. It feels crazy that they would just throw it to the wayside, because it's not like, you know, a 3DS and the Switch are exactly identical pieces of hardware, you know? Unlike, let's say, you know, a PS3 to a PS4. Like, it's the same type of hardware. Oh, if I need to catch his fish is later at night. Okay, let's go underwater, and then let's get into the hot spring later, and then come fishing again. Yeah, especially with how the 3DS kept Nintendo profitable for years. Yeah, it's like, now people have to go to, like, simulators now to play certain things because it's just, meh. And I don't know how well, Nintendo does, like, backwards compatibility, or, like, if they brought some of the games from, like, oh, now it's, you can do it on the Switch, this game. I don't know how often they do that. And it's like, it's not like these simulators are, like, they're kind of iffy in terms of how they'll work, or whether or not they'll work properly. But I guess on one hand, it's kind of just being like, yeah, guess what? And people who do this get to play these games for free. Because guess what? It doesn't exist in any other format anymore. Oh, there's the seal that I had freed, but I didn't get my gift from. Sir, excuse me. Hello. I'm sorry. What is this man? Look at his hat. Wakame is under. Oh, it's a food. Cool. Why is he Mad Max? Yeah, that's a good question. I too do not understand. But he looks fun. Looks like a cool dude. I'm going to wrap around. Man, see, I already forgot that I wanted to upgrade my axe. I should probably go do that. I'm gonna see if I can quickly run out of energy here. We're gonna get these two. Almost there. There we are. Are you kidding me? I missed. Okay, whatever. Now we should be good. Uh-huh. Is it blocked? Did I miss anything? Are we good? Okay, we did it. Get out of here, you. Okay. This is where we're going to start our next time when we go back under the sea. To teleport home, so we need 5 bronze and 20 wood. That hurts. That hurts, bud. That really hurts. I don't have enough to... I'm gonna have to get into the mines. That's unfortunate. I could have just bought... I can just buy from him, but I don't know. When the resource is free, why not? I should probably go to the hot spring, though, if I want to be able to do this long term. Oh, anything new? Yo, a black beanie? Cherry blossom painting? He's speaking my language. I have to buy that. Makapuno coconut. Poppy seeds? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can only grab one. Okay, well. I'm putting that in my house. I should have checked up on Ben, you know, sooner. Now I have something to put up in my house. I will say it's a little unfortunate that it's like not a swimming animation. Well, well, they do have a swimming animation. They have one for underwater. Why didn't they just apply it here? Just take in the sound of the flute. Close your eyes. Relax. Okay, I think that should be enough. Finished my little snack bowl. Oh, okay, goodbye. I wasn't expecting her to show up. Get myself in. Into the mines. Let's go to numero 5. That's exactly what I needed. An ore vein. They do have upgrades in this game, which is nice. So like that. Double ore, all that kind of stuff, that's pretty cool. Okay, goodbye. Yo, I may not need to go down much further. I just got... Oh no, I definitely need more. I think it requires 5 per in order to make a bar. Let's get on down there. Well, let me ask you a question, Silverune, because I talked about this, I think, last stream, but you weren't here. I'm gonna ask about the system of the dungeons, like within farming sims, or mines, I guess, for the most part. So, in another game, right, an old Harvest Moon game, the system that they had for the mines was that there's one mine, right? You enter that mine, and there's like 100 levels, I think. And the way the mine worked is that amongst the first couple of levels, you kind of just had rocks, you know? Understandable. Then between kind of like level 20 to 30, you started getting, there was a lot of kind of ore rocks. And then if you went deeper than that, around like maybe, I don't know if I said 70 or like 50 to 80 or whatever the range is, you would then find specifically gems. Like, you wouldn't find ores anymore. You could only, like, for the most part, just gems. And so that's how that worked. If you needed, like, reliably, if you needed, like, ores, you would just know you would have to go to, like, level X. And this range of levels had the ores you were looking for. Like, it's not like kind of like the dungeon slash mines you see right now where, oh, there is a % chance you will find ores in any of these levels. Because clearly this first one's supposed to be like a bronze, like you'll find bronze in this level and then silver in the next level. But whether or not you'll find it is like a random chance. Which system do you think you would like better? Because so far, I don't know. Both have really interesting points, but there's less assurity in this one, while the other one has more assurity. I guess they do separate them to a certain degree, like bronze in one side, silver, and then eventually gold in the third one. Oh, it is 12. I'm glad it gives me, like, a warning. I'm gonna run over here. There's usually nothing to sell here. I will deal with decorating tomorrow morning. Oh my god, finally! A different chest! Oh my god! I think there's gonna be wooden chests eventually, but oof. Thank goodness. Stone's so much easier to find. I think I prefer Stardew since that seems to be the halfway point between both sides, taking the best of both worlds. You have specific ranges of levels, but it balances guaranteed drops and rarer drops well. It also has multiple dungeons, but the main one balances resources, enemies. Now, you do bring up a good point, too, because Stardew has monsters, while the game that I was, like, the Harvest Moon game I was talking about is only, like, mining. So that's really reasonable, I would say, take on that. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, isn't Stardew in the middle? And now that you've reminded me, yes. Compared to Fae Farm, which goes way too heavy on enemies and requires you to craft for each floor. Ooh, I did not know that. That's good to know. Not go to sleep. Like a P... It's like a PNG of Sakura. How do I rotate? I mean, it's kind of a shame if I just put it on like a side wall, I guess. Well, look at that. It's not in the middle perfectly. Oh, this is the one thing I hate about, like, square-based things, is that I can't... Once, if this gets a mod where I can just, you know, place things wherever I want, that'll be a great day. Okay. Let's put it there. Yeah, because guess what? If I could just put this wherever I wanted, it could go perfectly in the center here and ba-bam. Beautiful, okay? Gorgeous. What am I holding in my hand? Oh, I guess it was food. Maybe they don't have, like, the 3D model of that. Let's see if I can craft it. Oh, it can hold up to 40 objects. I'm crying. It's so beautiful. I think I have to either chop more wood. Well, for now... Okay, what if I have, like... Because this scrap chest actually looks pretty cute. Let's make one of that and one of that. So if I remove this... Come here, you. I can sell that. Maybe I'll dump... That was not a nice way to say. Maybe I'll gently place all the monster items in here. Not the dragon fruit. We're fine now. Oh yes, I'm putting this in here. Let's start with these. A random battery pack I found. No, I need that. Excuse me, come back. I don't think I missed anything. That can stay like that. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to... I need more space. I guess for now... Once again, that's the really nice thing about mods. Some of these things, like, they just... do I have seeds here? Actually, no, that's not where I wanted it. Please come back. Thank you. So this is an artifact. I think I can just sell it. No, I do not want the chest inside the chest, please. Thank you. Also, this is just a shell. I can sell these two things. Okay, for now, I just need enough room so I can remove this. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Now, instead of color coding them, I'll just put it, the items that it is. So a rock chest for the rock items. No, you will be returning that. Nice. How do I make... Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. How do I make scrap? Because the scrap actually looks pretty fun. I need trash. Well, guess what? I've got 999 pieces of trash. Oh! Oh, you also be happy you missed the struggle from last session to play tug of war in this game. I don't know what was happening, but it was an utter nightmare. And I just, for the life of me, I could not win. gonna hold on to the gold items. I think people were legitimately, and there's like Reddit threads where people are actually like, I just want to die. This game is it's impossible. And let me tell you, I agree with that. Why would you want to make it realistic in terms of tug of war? Have some mercy, please. I will die like this. Oh, sometimes I could fish from here? Never mind, it's just more trash. Oh, it is Sunday. They are closed. But you are standing here. Why are you standing there? Man, giving me false hope. So I don't appreciate it. I can work on this, though. Oh my gosh, I don't think you've been here since last you've seen the... What is it? What is it? The museum. Do you remember what the museum looked like? Like last time you saw it, Silverune? Vaguely? Okay. Even vaguely is alright, because you want to let me show you what the museum now looks like. We've upgraded. We've upgraded so much that now we have unique areas for you, like the specific things. Right? We have a pirate ship. Let's go back here. There's multiple rooms now. This is the insectarium. Right? Massive. Massive. Unfortunately, they don't have it where it's, like, you can like, it doesn't really give the name of the animals. Like, I wish it was a little more like Animal Crossing in that way. Right? So, ginormous. There's a giant hall for actually people who, you know, donated for their Kickstarter, which I think that's very sweet of them. So there's this room. Moving on. As you probably have guessed it, there's a giant aquarium section. Look, the floor is jellyfish. That is so cool! They even have, like, a tunnel! And I'm a little... There should be a dino section somewhere. Is this still the aquarium? Oh, I haven't even seen this section yet, but here we are. Yep, this is the dino place. You love to see it. So if you vaguely remember, what is it, the museum before Silverune? It was minuscule. It was literally just one room with his back room for, like, working on stuff. I wasn't expecting them to go this hard, but this is huge, and it is amazing. And that's your tour of the newly upgraded museum. I could also agree, it is very cool. Which I'm not gonna lie, when we were doing the whole the cutscene for the museum, he was like, they had somehow made like $4 million or something. It was a giant amount of money. Oh, I should have donated. Whoopsies. He was like, it was a giant amount of money. And I was like, okay, if they're going to make like a tiny change, I'm going to be like, in an uproar that, wow, they made 4 million, but like the museum only grew a little bit. No, this definitely constitutes $4 million worth of a change. Yes, I agree. Ugh. So good. Okay, let's go return this stuff to Stone. Oh yeah, I couldn't do that because he was... I guess I should hold on to this. Ooh, there we go. There we are. Okay. Oh yes, I've also started... I don't know if you were also here for... Let me go see. I think we actually... They're open. They should be open right now. So you can do this in Stardew as well. I unlocked town. Oh, look at me getting all of these waypoints. I'm a legend. So in town now. Up here. Never mind, we're getting a cutscene. So you could do this in Stardew where you kind of decorate, your land not in a farming way. But in the shop that I'll show you, they have outdoor decor. And they've actually given you examples of... Oh my god, this is giving me flashbacks. I'll explain that in a second. But it actually shows you a way of designing your outdoor space that's not just farm related. So this is bringing me flashbacks. Because when my sister was in college, and she was moving out of the apartments because she was done, we had to take her furniture. And she was like on the second or third floor. And we were taking the sofa and everything. But unfortunately, it does not fit in the elevator. And now think about that, Silverune. The elevator was too small. So guess what? We had to take it down the stairs. And if it was indicative of how small the elevator was, imagine how small the staircase was. So, because for some reason I have been deemed, at least at that point in time, the heavy, like, I was a heavy lifter, I guess. I could lift heavy things. I was at the bottom. I was, at the bottom of the stairs trying to maneuver this couch down the stairs with my father at the top of the stairs. Someone, like, shoved in the corner of the stairs. And I will tell you, it was summertime and it was hot. So there's us dying in this stairwell of like a college apartment area. And like there were college students, like this one guy who just passed us, he's like, "You guys okay?" And we're just like, "We're fine," as we're like dying internally. It was a very amusing time. Nightmare fuel. And I'm like short, relatively short. So at the bottom of the stairs, I was actually so overshadowed, and they were like kind of funny yelling at each other about what to do. And I'm just like quiet, hidden by this sofa because I think my mom or something was on the other side. My mom couldn't even see me. And I was just there holding on to this thing and dying internally. It was funny times. It was hell in the moment, but now it's real funny. Okay. It's funny to think that the times where we want to, you know, hurl ourselves off a building the most, those are the times we find the most funny. Oh yeah, so here you go. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. And they actually have, hold on, they have different styles. Right now there's only 2. But look, if you go then indoors, cabin, beach, basic, which is just basic, and I don't know what Kosan is, but it's reminds me of like Asian households-ish. Do you like it that you could just buy a pile of clothes? I want outdoor clothes. I could probably afford this. Like, this is really cool. I can't imagine kind of doing this because the way you have to, like, formulate it, like, I would want everything to be next to each other to be convenient. Like, I wouldn't be making this whole concrete, like, here's the fountain, and then around the fountain is, like, my plants or whatever. My thing would definitely be way more simplistic than this. But as of right now, I don't even... I need to have all of my stuff set up, and then I can start designing. But that's pretty cool. I like having a visual representation that I can go off of. And I can give you a little, like, mental breakdown of what I'm thinking. I could have just teleported home. Okay, here we are. I can't believe it. I put it in a cart and I didn't buy it. Okay, hold on. We're going back. Nobody panic. And this time I'll take the short way back instead of the long way. She's just like the mini version in my hand. Be good. Okay. Okay. So I'm thinking this will be the archway. I think I want to put this here. I don't know whether or not I should put it here instead. No, but I like having this. Okay, for now. So as soon as you come out of the house, what'll happen is you'll come here, through here, and then this will be like a relaxation area. So ignore the plants. I'll move the plants to either somewhere further down and across, or to just over here, because what I'll have up here is my little fruit trees. And then this is like maybe the midway point between all of that. That's what I have so far. But imagine, like, what I just explained to you, and this is the size of the entire estate. I'm not going to be doing, like, I'm only going to be taking up 1/8 of this place. This place is huge. Yeah, now I don't know whether or not if I buy things, like buildings, whether or not those actually need to go onto this plot of land. In that case, it makes things a little easier, right? So it's like if you have a shed or something, you just put like the shed here, right? But we'll have to see, because so far I'm not sure. Like, this looks like where the greenhouse is supposed to go, maybe. Right? So some buildings I don't think will be there, but like you said, yeah, I have room to grow. I think once I get better sprinklers, that's when I'll move this whole setup. Man, look at me blabbing, and I still have all of my thing left. I should go back underwater. Hello. Look, Waku gets it. I don't know if I find the air spicy though. Okay, that's I understand the room. I understand maybe you're smelling that pumpkin spice. Maybe that's what the spicy is, but I don't know about spicy air. Oh, I should fish. Oh my god. Look at that boat. I kind of want to kill it. I'm not gonna lie. You remember Hey Hey from Moana, Silverune? I do not like that type of character. Obnoxious, just screaming. Dumb as a rock, like, obviously it makes sense. He kind of saves the day, but still, like, the screaming, just please make it stop. Do I have any skills in fishing to make this easier? Oh yeah, sardine. Exactly what I was looking for. I'm still at level 1 fishing. I guess I just gotta get good. 50% more bait. Better quality. Oh. That's unfortunate. There's nothing to just make this easier on me. I guess maybe bait? I don't even know if I can upgrade my fishing rod. Maybe I should go to wherever this fishing shop is. Maybe this will, you know, give me a better rod. I will say I kind of prefer Stardew's fishing to this. This takes years. This better be the fish, or I'm just gonna cry. It's just a giant octopus. Sir, you're pretty cute, but I don't need you. No, thank you. Rapaima. And then I just get trash. Yeah, it's just slow. If it wasn't as slow, it'd be totally acceptable. But it's just like I've caught 2 fish and it's been like 40 minutes. And time doesn't stop. Like, I guess if time stopped, I wouldn't mind as much. Who knows? Maybe they're just like, hey, you should have invested in the fishing gear a long time ago, and this would have made it 5 million times as easy. But, you know, nothing has indicated that otherwise. Okay. Oh, lovely. Another sardine. And I will say, it is kind of crazy as like a level 1 fisher to be pulling out, because some of these things are supposed to be, I think, top tier. Like the octopus is supposed to be really hard, or like higher skill level to catch, and that's why it takes me like forever to get it. It's crazy to think that a level 1 fisher person, you know, fisherman, can pull out like a barracuda out of the water. Like, it's like, why is this giving me 50 barracuda, but not like a level 1 fish? Like, less barracuda. I never imagined I would say less barracuda, please. I'm gonna have to leave in a second. One more fish, probably. Hopefully that level ups. That's English. Hopefully that levels up my fishing by 1. You're just thinning out the barracuda population? The barracudas have taken over. I'm doing what must be done. No, give that back, please. Anything here to donate? Oh, I can offer the sardine! Okay, for now, I'm gonna hold on to that sardine. I don't know whether or not... Also, I have an aquarium. I don't know if I can put anything in. Let's check. I just have an aquarium with no fish in, you know? Because that's how that works. Okay, then in that case, for now, I'm just going to sell those guys. And we're going to go to sleep. Put down the fish, put down the sword. Oh, it's 2:16. Oh, there we go. Fishing level up. I hear the spirit of Zack in my ear.
What do you mean, spirit of Zack? What the hell, man?
I hear an event buzzing.
I wanted you to be like, oh, is there a special event happening or something?
No, as soon as any other noise pops into my ear, I turn to look and I'm like, oh, it's Zack.
What do you mean?
It's the banana tree killer! Zack, how dare you kill my bananas?
This is nonsense, and it makes me very upset.
I don't know what you're talking about. It makes the most sense. I am now, by the way, for your information, I am now on episode... Lovely, when it doesn't... 11. I'm on episode 11 of the thing. Of sophomore year.
Cool. Once again, I will repeat the same thing that I said like a while ago, which was that like sophomore year is very good. Fantasy High sophomore year is very good. Obviously, I enjoy it a lot. It just really hurts me spiritually, I guess, that like COVID ruined the finale.
Yeah, it's like seeing people in comments being like, 2020, ouch. Like, if only they knew.
Well, so I think I told this story on stream a couple times, but like I was watching or listening to NADPOD, which once again, I will repeat, 100, like if you're enjoying sophomore year, 1,000,000% check out NADPOD on Spotify. It's like just as good, if not honestly a little bit better than the Dimension 20 type stuff. The only downside is that you don't have the visuals, because it's like a, it's a theater of the mind D&D campaign. But what was I gonna say? But during NADPOD, during, I want to say it was the climax of campaign 1, or not even the climax, but like approaching the climax of campaign 1, there was going to be this whole thing where the idea was that
Not my chest.
There was the idea that this cleric ascended to godhood and was going to like destroy the world or whatever. And so as part of that, she summoned the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And so there was supposed to be this thing where they went on like 4 mini quests to go defeat each of the 4 horsemen to get like their medallions, so that way they could go to her like her plane of existence. She had like the plane of like she had like the plane of radiance or something like that, which was really cool. But literally the week before COVID like struck the US, which was March 2020, literally the week before the government instructed people to stay in their homes, they started fighting pestilence.
Wow. What
You know,
timing?
and it was like, oh, dude,
Pestilence
that's
won
rough.
for this short amount of time. We gotta we gotta come back later.
So yeah. Okay, let's use that.
How is your 12 new demos doing?
Most of them have been not great. I really did the thing where it's just like, well, I have to be, you know, like I felt like I wasn't being fair exactly to a lot of the demos, because it's like, well, people put a lot of effort into these things, and it's like I should really, you know, instead of just glancing at it and deciding like, oh, I don't want to do that, I was like, yeah, I might as well give it another chance. A lot of them are just kind of not exactly bad, but not interesting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I realized what a big portion of my problem was, actually, because you'll recall that yesterday I told you that my ratio of wish listing is very low.
Oh yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I realized what the problem was today. The problem, oh, scusi. The problem was that in the past, when I've done stuff for the Steam Next Fest, I would wish list anything that it was like, oh, I want to see this succeed, or I want to like help them succeed, right?
Ah, I see.
But then
Okay.
this time, I think it's because I have like 90 plus games on my wish list. My brain just automatically
You gotta calm
decided like,
down.
no, I'm only gonna wish list the things that I'm definitely gonna buy, obviously. You know?
Okay, reasonable. I kind of wish list things that I'm like maybe I'm interested in, and stuff that I'm like for sure interested in. I'm gonna keep my eye out on it.
That's a flush. Let's go with the flush. Why not?
Okay.
And I don't know, because it's like you can organize your wish list on Steam, and to this day,
Geode.
like there are still so many demos that I have on, or there are still so many. Oh fuck! I ruined myself. I still have so many demos that or so many games that I played demos for that I'm waiting for them to come out, and I'm ranking the unreleased games, and it's like, dude, none of the stuff from this year, except for Balatro, I guess, but even that, like, Balatro had a freaking demo from last Next Fest, so that doesn't really count. And even still, it's like, there's really nothing from this Next Fest that I'm like super jazzed for, which sucks, because a lot of the games that I'm playing, I've been following on Twitter for a really long time. Like, I've been following their development, and then I finally get to the game and I'm like, wow, you put all of your time into an incredible visual style, but the game itself is like okay at best.
Subpar. Yeah. I think that's what's unfortunate too. Some games like we've kind of come across where it's like, yeah, the visuals are so great, but the gameplay is just like, clearly.
The gameplay is just like, yeah, it's a, you know, like the thing, and I don't know, I feel like this is super unfair, but it's like the gameplay is just shy of serviceable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not what I come for when I when I play games, I guess. So I don't know. I completely borked my run. I'm so sad.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
try it again.
It was great. Me and
It was all
Silverune just been
Sava's.
chatting
Sava's
about
fault.
everything. Well, yeah, it's just like you killing.
Oh, I
the
see
banana trees,
Silverune's
your
here.
fault.
Hello,
Yeah,
Silverune.
we were chatting about like a ton of stuff. It's been great.
Oh.
I got, you know, very like passionate about some things, and then I was like, okay, we can't talk about this because I'm just gonna get annoyed. And then we talked about like a ton of stuff.
Okay, very
A lot
interesting.
of it was kind of complaining, I think, about like how video games and like movies and stuff just like aren't as great as like before. Like it's become quite a quantity over quality issue. You know, you leave, you black tendrils.
The thing is that I don't even know if I necessarily. It's not even like, how do I phrase this? I don't disagree with that sentiment because it's like I don't think that. Because you say it's like a quantity over quality sort of
That's
thing.
like a very simplified version of
right, very simplified version. Obviously, I don't want to undermine like the whole conversation that you guys had or whatever. But it's like, oh my god, excuse me, sorry, I'm drinking soda at the same time.
That's not a good idea. Not at the same time.
It's a great idea.
No.
I need the energy, dude. I'm so freaking tired from this week. This week has felt like 3 weeks, and it's not even over. I still have a whole day.
Well, Zach, you remind yourself. Just tell yourself that. Remember, you were feeling guilty about not working as much.
Yes, I know. That's really funny because that's what my mom said this morning, right after insulting my generation for being lazy. So like, I feel like, have you ever heard of like the visualization of grief? Have you heard of that? The idea of it being like, think of your mind as a sphere. Grief is like an iron ball in your brain that never goes away. But the thing is that as time moves forward, the sphere gets larger. So by comparison, the iron ball doesn't take up as much of your mind.
No, I definitely have not heard of that, but that's quite interesting.
As a person who wants you know the things that I contend with, you know, mentally. So like I've heard this explanation like every once in a while. But it's an interesting way of thinking about it, and I almost feel like that's how entertainment media is as well, where it's like I feel like the iron ball, instead of representing the negative that is grief, I think the iron ball in my version of what I'm saying right now represents the like freaking triple A, not even triple A, just like the golden, like this is a masterpiece type stuff, right? Because there's still great movies that come out. There's still great shows, great anime, great video games, like all this stuff. There's still great stuff that happens. It's just that there's so much more stuff that people don't, not even that people don't really care about. It's that like business got in the way, you know, where it's like what was the game that just came out? I think like I believe Banded Woolly Bear. I believe that like Foam Stars just came out in for like early access or something like that. And it's like, I think I sent it to you. Did I send you the tweet?
Yeah, because you were just like, I don't know. Okay, you sent me stuff about Foam Stars.
That was a different tweet. Let me see if I sent it. Yes, I sent it to Grant. Okay, so I'll send it to you just for posterity. I'll send it to you. But they have cosmetic bundles in Foam Stars, and one cosmetic bundle in Foam Stars, like the average cosmetic bundle, costs $45, not including tax. And so people are like, for a game that's not even that good, like it's literally just worse Splatoon, the idea that you could either buy one cosmetic pack for one character, or you could buy the entire Yakuza franchise, sans Yakuza 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like it's
you know, and it's just one of those things where it's just like, you know, they didn't do that out of like interest or excitement. They did that because it's like, we want money, you know, and it's just disappointing, I guess.
Should have checked if I could offer those, but I guess I'm just being stupid right now. It's okay. Yeah, so we talked about like so much stuff. It's been crazy.
I believe
like
it.
We talk about like Switch stuff.
What was the news about Crunchyroll that came out earlier today? Did you see that?
No, I did not. What had happened? What did they do?
So Crunchyroll, everybody obviously knows it nowadays as being, the place where you can watch like anime streams or whatever, anime shows.
Yeah, but not
So
really
I
anymore.
want to say like just shy of 2 years ago, they merged with Funimation, which is like I don't even remember. I don't even remember if they publish. I think they just republish anime for the West, I believe is what Funimation does. Someone can correct me. Oh, Silverune just saw the thing about Crunchyroll as well. Anyway, yeah. So the long and the short of the scenario of the situation is that the people at Crunchyroll uh, told everybody forwards, backwards, and sideways because Funimation had its own streaming service that you could do online, and after the and like during the merger, they assured people they were like, "Don't worry, you have nothing to be worried about. We promise that there will be no adverse effects from this merger. This is just so that way we can deliver higher quality like anime to you more efficiently, right? Well,
Uh-huh.
guess what? They have tripled their base subscription price and almost like they said it without saying it, where it's like they're doing it because they are the only like proper streaming service for anime in the
Yeah,
US now.
yeah, because it's like before, when the start of Crunchyroll, you were able to watch it almost all for free. You just have to watch maybe
Well,
one
Crunchyroll
ad
was a
once.
piracy website first.
Yeah, and now it's like, yeah, now I'm moving on to other stuff because it's just
Well,
stupid now.
yeah, and it's just like, it's just greed. And it's like, come on, man. Like, it's just so sad.
Another topic we have extensively talked about, me and Rune today. Like I said, we talked about
Don't
a
we
lot.
just love late stage capitalism? Lamau. I do. It definitely doesn't keep me up at night.
Yeah.
But
Look
yeah.
at this guy in fall now, Zach. He changes his hair color to match the season.
What
Pretty
the
cool.
hell is wrong with his eyebrows?
He's just got that's his natural like hair color, right? And like I said, he dyes his hair. I don't know.
He's not wearing a tie.
No.
I very much thought that the like inside shirt was him wearing like a really awkward tie on the outside of his like polo
Oh,
or
I can
whatever.
kind of see it. Oh my god, now that you've said that. Oh, that's so funny. No, yeah. Oh, that was funny. No. Pretty impressive. I like his fits. Okay, they're good.
I like his fits, she says.
Yep. That's
With an
how you know
S.
I'm both old and kind of young at the same time.
I can't disagree.
Shit is my passion.
I often consider myself to be one with the youth.
Fantastic. Good friend. Tally ho!
Tally ho! Oh!
I'm gonna do some fishing.
Zack is hurting. Oh! It's pain.
I also talked about how fishing in this game kind of sucks.
Fishing in real life kind of sucks.
Fishing? I would definitely never fish in real life.
Why not?
Because I
Are you a little baby?
I don't have the patience. And I have a lot of patience, okay? I don't have enough patience for it.
Are you a doctor?
Definitely not. That's another reason why. It's nice to know that I will spend a quarter. Luckily, I guess this game is somewhat realistic. I will spend a quarter of this day simply on one fish, Zach.
Oh, that reminds me. Well, not the fishing part, but just the fact that you're playing yet another farming sim. I got to the point in Octopia. I didn't know why, but freaking apple seeds, lemon seeds, like so many seeds were like 300 salt per bag. And I was like, what the heck? Why is this
If those
so
are more like,
expensive?
if those are more tree-based
They're
things,
trees. I
yeah,
didn't know because when I
yeah, they cost
planted them,
more.
it just looked like when it was just like a little. It was just like a little sprout, and I was like, okay, whatever. But now I'm pissed because I thought it would just be like an apple tree, and then you harvest it, and then the apple tree is gone. No, the
Nope,
tree stays
trees
around.
stay.
So
Welcome
the
to
tree.
Farming Sim 101, Zach.
Well, how the fuck was I supposed to know? I play good games.
If you
But
played
the
actual good games, you would have known.
what are you talking about? You cannot possibly argue. This is an unwinnable position for you, I think. Stop laughing like that. What's wrong with you? Scusi. But yeah, so like I don't know, but it's like I put the trees in really awkward positions because I didn't realize that they were sticking around.
Yeah.
Zach doesn't play good games; he plays evil.
I agree, Silverune.
It's just so bullshit. I swear to God, I am absolutely gonna put like a character in a campaign one day where like his whole motivation for being evil is that people keep calling him evil, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it.
And then like people turn around and be like, see, yeah, he is evil. He's
And he goes, ah! Like, freaking out.
It's 100% his fault.
Shut the fuck up.
I will say, I was also talking about, I know how it's demo time, but I have been missing playing Baldur's Gate. But I also know you've been busy at the same time, so it's like a double whammy of like, you're definitely not playing Baldur's Gate Saba right now.
I'm definitely not playing Baldur's Gate this week. You are astute for figuring that out, yes.
I am missing it. I would like to get back to it. I've also told myself, because of how much I'm missing it, I'm thinking that once, because we're close to Act 2, as soon as we hit Act 2, that's when I'll start doing like the mod stuff.
For your own playthrough?
Yeah, for my own playthrough. I'll just
Okay,
like,
I'm about to say, like, I don't think we have multiplayer.
I don't think it
mods
should
work.
be. I don't think it should be impacting. They gave me fancy chairs and beds. Heck yeah. It shouldn't like impact our playthrough, right? Like, I hopefully if I download mods, it won't break the game.
No, you should be fine, I would suspect.
Man, the process of getting these things is quite tense.
Oh, scusi. I don't want that.
I'm so one of these.
But I once again, I should reiterate that like we did all of Grimforge in one session, which was like what? That was like 5.5 hours. I think.
Actually died. I think I was actually losing my mind by the end of it. I've found,
It
Zach,
was long.
that
It was long.
I can only game for like 2 to 3 hours and be relatively sane. As soon as you go after that, I will just slowly disintegrate.
Well, we can only hope. But the but like I don't know. It's tough because it's like you can't like I don't know. Like you obviously literally can just like do Grimforge in 2 sessions, but it's so much less satisfying in my mind if you do it in 2 sessions, you know? But
yeah, I understand. It's like since it's all kind of related to one another, like it felt understandable.
yeah, you know, because it's like you can do the regular Grimforge and then do the like advanced section, like the one where we went up into the rafters and stuff. Like you can do that, I guess, as a second session. But I don't know. It's just not a like. I always prefer to do the. I always want to fight near with thing man the adamantite.
Reasonable. Okay.
And armor.
Reasonable. Next. 962. I'm still chilling for a little longer. Maybe I'll go to 3 my time and then we'll finish. We're having fun here. I like to
have fun here. Yeah, I got diamonds. I gotta discard these. You motherfucker.
Heck yeah,
There
look
we
at
go.
these orchids. I got myself... I will say, I think Stardew was the first time I realized what amaranth was. I still kind of don't know what amaranth is, but it's a plant.
Hmm.
I
The
think,
last
doesn't
time
it
I heard about amaranth, it was one of the more frustrating items in Elden Ring because you get it, but you don't want it.
Interesting. I think amaranth is also the name of a streamer, maybe.
Isn't that the one who's also like? Never mind.
I don't know.
This doesn't matter.
It's like at the vague back of my mind, and I'm like, maybe? I don't know.
I'm pretty confident that there is a streamer named like I think it's like Amarath or something like that, and she also just so happens to be like the number, like she's definitely like within the top 10 on OnlyFans as well.
Oh, maybe you're right. Is that where I remember her or that name from?
Yeah,
Okay.
from
For when
from
I go,
when
you want to be careful.
from when you subscribe to her
Oh
OnlyFans,
yeah, that's what I do.
obviously.
Okay, who's Joker? Who am I sending this to?
Joker.
Ah, this man. Terms of service. Well, okay, I didn't know who that was. Okay, until I was reminded of who that was.
Sabit knew.
I did not know.
Don't let her lie to you.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about that.
Should I take a 4 of diamonds with a purple seal or just an ace of diamonds? I'll take an ace. I really like how even though this is just a demo, the guy who by the way, his online handle is local thunk.
Oh my god.
Which is like that's such a great name. It's way better than Obo Token, I can tell you for sure. But yeah, so local thunk, despite this just being a demo, he does like balance patches to the game and stuff, which is crazy. And I enjoy it a lot. Oh,
it's very nice.
Very nice. Okay.
Well, I'm glad to know that I now know another plant. I don't know much about that plant, but I now know there's another type of plant in the world.
Another type of plant in the world.
I would like to get it. Please hurry up and let me in. I'm standing outside your door right this minute. Finally.
So Saba, I have a question for you.
Yes.
And you must answer this question honestly, or I will destroy you.
Okay.
Ball.
Here.
Ball.
Okay.
Imagine playing cards, right?
Okay.
Each playing card is worth a number of points equal to the number that it shows, right? So like a 6 is worth 6, a 3 is worth 3, so on and so forth, right? Mm-hmm. Face cards, so like Jack, Queen, King, are worth 10. So it's the same as a 10. They're just face cards in addition to that. What do you think an ace would be worth?
Maybe either higher or lower. So like...
Well, we have to give me an answer.
20, or like you were saying, kind of like 1, like the other game we played.
The one where it was low instead of high?
Yeah.
So in the original version of Balatro, the idea was that the ace would be worth a number of chips, because the idea is that ace can be high or low in poker, right? It can be higher than a king or lower than a 2. And so in the original version, before the most recent update, the ace would be worth chips or well, chips, points, whatever, depending on which side you put it on, which meant that you always wanted to put it high, right? Because then it would be worth 9 more chips than if you put it as a 1 instead, right? Well, people were disappointed with that because they were like, well, if I'm investing in an ace build, I don't want it, like, that just kind of sucks, if because then, like, you know, like, it's just so much more it's so much more disappointing if you do like a ace 2 3 4 5 as opposed to an ace king queen jack 10. So Local Thunk was like, okay, and he came up with the most brilliant solution of the two. So instead of it being worth 1 point or 10 points, now it's worth 11. It's both at the same time.
Oh, both at the same time. Okay.
And I'm like, how did I not think of that? That's such a good idea.
I succeeded, Zach. Now there's food on the local side.
Yay!
That's all me. You know those pumpkins that I haven't grown yet? That's all me.
Nice. We stand local food.
Indeed.
We stand local thunk.
Okay, time to plant these.
Ladies and gentlemen, local thunk. Zach, did you see the game I recommended? I saw that someone recommended a game. Let me double check again.
I actually have never heard of it. I saw it too.
Heaven Studio. Yeah, I meant to look into this. Let me see.
This is your moment.
It's on itch.io. A tool to create playable rhythm heaven custom remixes. Okay, interesting. Oh, and it's remixes because it's just the mini games and you do them. How do you synchronize it to music though? Oh my god, you can change the BPM of the song? That's crazy. Okay, I mean, that's interesting. Does this cost anything? Let me see. Nope, it's totally free. I don't know if we'll ever play this on stream per se, but I will certainly check it out on my own. Who knows? Maybe I'll make maybe I'll make 2 custom remixes, one of all of my favorites and then one of all of my least favorites. And then we'll play that on stream for my birthday or something.
Back to the origins.
Gameplay. Instantly thought of your stream. Fun with Rhythm Heaven Fever.
Oh yeah, RT game.
Please
This
don't.
is pretty funny.
Me. RT game is great. I'm glad that he's back after such a long hiatus.
I need to get back to playing or watching my favorite streamer play Poppy's Playtime. It was fun watching that.
The new chapter came out, and I'm actually quite impressed with the newest chapter.
Yeah, that's what he's playing, so it'll be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So watch it. I gotta donate this fork. Oh shucks.
I am very confident that I lost this game, sadly. Oh,
where am I going? That's a good question.
I wanted to mention, and I hope this isn't like weirdly parasocial in the opposite direction in a way. The other day I was explaining to my dad, because I still really want him to play Outer Wilds, and and I was explaining to him, like reminding him what like the basic premise of the game is and yada yada. And in my mind, I was thinking about all like the secrets and stuff that he would hopefully like discover on his own while playing. And straight up, Saba, you obviously remember that Silverune did like a cover of Travelers for his channel, obviously.
Yeah.
When Silverune did that little bit at the beginning of like, I'm not familiar with this song, but I'm honored to be a part of it. Straight up, that voice is what I think of now when I think of Solinum's like lines. And so like
cool.
in my mind, I can read Solinum's lines in that voice, and I'm like, that's really weird, because it's like, it's not even necessarily like Silverune's real voice, but it's so perfect for Solanum, like in the most unintentional sort of way. So yeah, so I mean, there you go. Feather in your cap, I guess. Random guy online thinks that you did a great job impersonating a fictional character.
Nice!
Nice, you did it.
Silverune.
Can you just let me die, please? I should probably actually play demos today, huh?
That would be nice, so we could talk about them.
I know, I'm just tired, man. Like once again, getting invited to the New York IAP was like it was a huge honor, and like I don't know, it was like, wow, you're really going out on a limb to like try to boost me, you know, to the point where like I met with my other mentor today, and I told him that I've been sitting in on the New York IAP, and the guy got jealous. He was like, I wish I was invited, holy cow. It's like, well, I mean, I'm not
Wow.
there, like I'm not there physically. I'm literally just in the call listening. Like I'm not talking or anything. But, you know, apparently it's still like a really big deal to get invited. But
So,
it took up all of my spare time, dude. It's like I had lessons, I had meetings, I have work to do for ARP4, and then as soon as all that gets done, which is already a really busy week, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, sit in on this meeting. And I didn't retain anything. So it's going to be really disappointing next week when my mentor is like, so what'd you learn from IAP? I'm going to be like, I don't know. Goldman Sachs still exists?
like the most
Hmm.
arbitrary thing, that orange is a color.
Well, because it's like, I was describing, I was like, I was conveying my frustration to my mother, where
My
the,
mother.
my mother, I was conveying my frustration because it's like I felt that because like my explicit objective as given by my mentor was like, yeah, participate in as much of the New York IAP as possible, and try to come back next week with 2 suggestions for enterprise agreements that we can work on together. And it's like, okay, that sounds cool and all, but then as I'm sitting through the meetings, all of the stuff that they're discussing seems very not personal. What's the word I'm looking for when you like you're working with somebody in a professional context? I mean, I guess just professional. I don't
Yeah,
really
it's
know the
in a
word that I'm trying to
professional
think of
setting.
here.
I don't know.
Well, no, because it's not in a professional setting. It's all stuff where it's like they go and they take like the CEO and his wife out to a fancy dinner in order to try to like grease the wheels of a deal. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, I've been
Okay.
talking to this guy for like 10 years and he's finally starting to budge on working with Cisco. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Stuff where it's like, well, how exactly am I going to help you with this? Because I'm just like
Help
a guy.
wear people down. Oh, well, I can tell you it's called persistence and annoying the heck out of people.
Sure, I agree, Saba. However, what I mean to say is that like I have a job. Like I don't really like I can't really like when he said like work on an EA together, I thought he like what I thought was going to happen was that the IAP was going to have like a list of like, okay, here is a bunch of like here's a bunch of opportunities that we have, and we just need to make EAs before we propose them, right? Because I was like, okay, well that sounds like something I can that sounds like something I can help with, because it's just number crunching, right? And like that's super easy for
Yeah.
anyone to do. But no, once again, it's like they very rarely talked about that, or at least not while I was there. They very rarely talked about that. It was mostly just stuff where it's like I put it in banter ideas or banter topics, and I'll bring it up again if there's an opportunity to on the mainstream. But they had this portion of yesterday. By the way, thank God no one actually. Silverune, don't tell anybody that I said this, all right? Because technically I'm very much not supposed to be saying this right now, especially not while it's being live streamed on Twitch.
Should I mute
But
you, or do you want that? Is that...
no,
I can
I'm just
mute
gonna
you.
say a bunch of illegal stuff. It's fine. So, what do you think I am, a coward like Grant?
Yikes.
So,
Please don't get fired. I'm gonna mute him anyway, just in case. I mean, at least Silverune can't hear you. I can hear you. Indeed. Zack, you're right. Oh, okay, so that's where all the black market dealings are happening? Wow, that's really good information to know. Thank you. I'll keep my lip sealed, Zack. Okay, okay. Okay. Oh, how interesting. Wow, and kind of how, like, manipulative in a little, yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That... That seems kind of, yeah, that's not great. Okay. Well, I'll bring you back on now. Well, that's, you know, okay, good to know. We'll be wrapping up in a second anyway for stream, because it's the end of today, and it's, like, close to 3 hours now, so. I saved you, Silverune, okay? Man, knowing that stuff scarred me, okay? You're better off not knowing.
Scarred you? I don't know, man. I think I would love. I think it would be great to be like a big, powerful executive, and then have your only special note be that you're a wife guy. Like, I think that's really
My
funny.
wife matters to me the most. Thank you.
My wife is the only thing I give a shit about. And she's expensive as hell, hence why I'm a fucking triple star executive. It's like, oh my god. That's so funny.
I just imagine Zack explaining it, and it's like opening the Ark
Opening
of the
the
Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant.
I'll put this pig on this table, unless I can't put the pig on the table. How dare they? I'll put him right there. He's my pig. My very friendly pig. Okay, I don't think there's much else to do here. I think it's closed. It closes at 11, but I don't think it's worth going to chat. This guy's just randomly there. Well, okay, it feels like let's just head off to sleep and we'll call it at least for this stream. Okay.
I have a video for you.
Okay. Good to know.
There you
I
go.
completed an errand. I got 20 merits. I got 1,000 in farming. Heck yeah. Okay, well that's that. Calm down.
It's
I'm gonna
very
mute
good.
you as I close out. Okay. Thank you, Silverune. Honestly, like the conversations we had, that's like my bread and butter. I really enjoy those conversations the most. Thanks for just like chilling and hanging out with me, man. It was really nice. I'm so glad they can't hear that, Zach. Oh my god. Anyway, I will leave this song here and no, that's still on Discord. You know they can't hear that. Yeah, and I'll catch you later, Silverune. Until next time. I don't know if I'm doing it. I'm not, oh my god. Doing something tomorrow, but at least we're back Saturday. Yeah. I don't know about Sunday. I'll have to talk with Zach about Sunday actually, because it is the Super Bowl. So people may be occupied. But yeah. See you later. Bye bye.